Jason, there's one more factor that we have to include that we didn't talk about, and it's the pairing of position and click-through rate. I am not going to be as suspicious of a 1% or 2% click-through rate if you are never hitting first position, you have 0% absolute top, right? Yeah. And you have only 50% above organic. I am not suspicious of a 1% click-through rate or lower because that makes sense. But when I pair an ad that's showing 50% in absolute top, so 50% of the time they are in top position, and then 95% of the time they're above organic, so they're very visible. And then I see a 2% or 3% or lower click-through rate, immediately I'm suspicious. So metrics and position also factors into the, that red and yellow kind of number.
Yeah, there's heat maps out there, and it's also common sense. But like the higher your ad position is, in general, the higher your click-through rate will be. Now, there could be in a silo, some advertiser, some city, some keyword where an advertiser in position 2 somehow gets near or close to, or maybe even better, the click-through rate of the advertiser in position 1 if the ad copy is really, really, really good for that search term, and that ad copy in that first position ad is really, really bad. But generally, the higher your ad show, the higher your click-through rate will be. And just like we're saying, all things kind of impact click-through rate, and it's situation dependent. That ad position and how strong you're bidding, that's like a huge factor of it, a huge component. And so I think it's probably safe to say I never really consider click-through rate on its own. I look at click-through rate and absolute top percentage and top percentage, like you're saying, the position data, and I almost judge click-through rate alongside the position data. And it's kind of like a handicap in golf. Like, as I understand it, someone has a 12 handicap and then someone has a 5 handicap, whatever, but it allows them to play the same game at the same time with their different skill levels. With the click-through rate, it's like, yeah, a position, if you're going for a position 1 strategy and you have a 8% or 12% click-through rate, like, good. But if you're going for a show up number 1 half the time strategy as opposed to 90+% and your click-through rate is down at 5%, still good. It's very dependent on the position.